Do you expect Spithill to go on the attack here or try to maybe keep his nose clean?
No, I expect Spithill to go on the attack. He'll be channeling the inner James Spithill of 2000 when he burst onto the America's Cup scene with Young Australia and dominated the pre-starts, and he needs to dominate this pre-start and get on the front foot.
Freddie, I think we heard Jimmy Spithill talk about how they're in a very light air package today, maybe even their light air boards, which I'm not so sure they're super fond of. With all that said, I think that even lends more towards what you say. He has to be aggressive because they might not be as quick today.
Oh, I completely agree there, Ken. They're on their big foils, so it's a repeat of last Saturday where they lost the initial 2 matches. So for that reason, I think they need to get off the line cleanly and get to Mark 1 first.
Race number 9 of the America's Cup match underway. It could be the last as the New Zealanders aim to make history. The eyes of the sporting world now focused firmly on the Great Sound. Who's got the upper hand in this pre-start game of cat and mouse, Kenny?
Well, you can see that Oracle has chosen to kind of hang back behind Emirates Team New Zealand right now. That gives them more options, believe it or not. If they get overlapped, which they're kind of swirling around right now, that takes away that hook option. I really thought that Spithill would absolutely be going for it right now, but it looks like he's looking to gap off, possibly start towards the top end of the line. Remember, the right-hand end of the line up at the top of our screen, right up there, that's actually a little bit further away from the first mark, but it's always a faster angle. So let's see if they can make that faster angle work. This time and distance has been a problem for Jimmy Spithill. Let's see if it is today.
So he's pulled the trigger. Has he gone too soon? Looks like it's going to be just fine this time around. And the 2 boats straight up on the foils. The Americans just about in front and tearing towards Mark 1. So critical that Jimmy Spithill and his team got away to a clean start, a quick start.
They have to be first to this mark. Ali, they just have to be. They need it for their own psyche. They need it for just simply their chance to win this race. They need to get over the top of Emirates Team New Zealand for a chance to win this race. And it looks like they might have pulled it off. You see they're actually sailing below the mark right now. There you go. 2 out of 7, I think, in these starts so far. So Spithill finally got one in. Man, did he need it.
Good boat speed from the Americans as well as they turn around the first mark and head downwind for the first time in this race. And the Kiwis in behind them. They've been very happy through the course of our time here in Bermuda to play catch-up. They've bided their time. They've waited for the wind shifts, secure in the knowledge that their boat is quick.
Let's start canting. Stand by. Okay. Happy. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Mate.
So Kiwis first to jibe, the Americans right on the boundary.
This is, I think the whole world is just holding their breath if you're an Oracle fan right now. That jibe was so critical. They stayed on their foils, but they're in a very precarious spot right now. Any speed edge to Emirates Team New Zealand, and then they can do a little reversal here and roll over the top. Doesn't seem like Spithill's too concerned, but I'll tell you what, that's really close to being a disastrous spot for Oracle right there.
Let's get to them. Windward heel, guys. We're pretty low. Yeah, we've got
neck and neck right now.
And they have gotten over the top. Oracle is in a tough spot. Emirates Team New Zealand just barely bow out, potentially using their wing wash to slow down Oracle. They were quicker off the jibe again, yet again. How many times have we said that in this series?
Pace up now. Watch him. Watch out. Watch out.
Just a tiny, this is why we always say the fastest boat wins the America's Cup. That tiny speed edge right there goes from behind to ahead in a heartbeat for Emirates Team New Zealand.
There's the wing wash, which the Kiwis will be hoping will spoil the Americans there and slow them up just sufficiently to allow them to extend their lead at this point. They're going all the way to the ley line, the ideal route in to the gate without any further maneuvers.
Mate, Albatross. Albatross.
Stay here.
Okay, stand by.
Into gate 2 with the New Zealanders out in front, looking to claim the trophy, to claim their place in history. The Americans already, even at this early stage in the race, with plenty to do.
An albatross, clearly, we all wanted to find out what an albatross that was there. That was a super difficult maneuver by Oracle, and you can see they're paying dearly in boat speed for having to do that last second spin around the mark. They did it pretty well, but I'll tell you what,
20 seconds.
that was not pretty and that was not easy to do.
So the New Zealanders leading the race, the Americans taking off in a separate direction to try to chase a little bit of wind and find a way back in here, because that lead is being built all the time by Peter Burling's men.
That split became so critical for Oracle
22.
that they decided to do really one of the hardest maneuvers in these boats in match racing, and they need that split to continue to possibly gobble up that lead, because Emirates Team New Zealand is in their standard way. They're not slow and they're not getting any closer. Look at the speed difference, 23 knots to 20 knots right there.
Okay, it's going to probably lift you slowly, but not much.
Pulled back their curtains this morning, they will have known that in these conditions, the Kiwi boat unquestionably has an edge. We've seen it throughout our time here.
Well, Glenn Ashby and Peter Burling, you see Glenn Ashby twiddling his knobs there down in the bottom right-hand side of the corner, just kind of trying to do his thing with his box, with the Xbox display, controlling the wing shape and trim.
Foiling tack, such a slick maneuver. And already this lead is looking like a very significant one for Emirates Team New Zealand.
Going out to Freddie Carr in the water. Freddie, the breeze is still around kind of that 8-9 knots. Is there a general trend here?
Yeah, the breeze is still 8-9 knots. It's just like yesterday. There's 2-minute oscillations flicking left and right. Ken, the no-look jibe by the Kiwis on the boundary was unbelievable. Glenn Ashby was halfway across the boat as the boat was getting turned down. That was superb boat handling by the Kiwis.
So we have a no-look jibe and an albatross so far in this race. Ali, we thought we had heard it all, and we haven't.
Well, they're pushing the boundaries. They love it, don't they? The innovators, they've been setting the agenda not just on the course, but off as well, with their designs and their techniques, their tactics.
Yeah. Slowly tick off that way, Blanger.
20 seconds.
Okay, 10 seconds. Yep. Let's stand by there, guys.
Okay, boys. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Jimmy Spithill, with all of his experience, needing to draw upon the great maturity of it right now. Twice an America's Cup winner in 2010 and 2013.
21s, 22s.
But at the moment, staring down the barrel.
Could be a possible little right-hand wind shift on it. You see up in the upper left-hand corner that the angle of Emirates Team New Zealand kind of curling down. Very often that means the wind shift is going the other way. Looks to me like when these guys come back together again, they're going to be a little bit closer.
A little hot note here. Yeah.
Just a little. Will be one to the left here. One.
Keeping it close, Oracle.
Take it up if you've got it.
Yep. We're on the way. Yeah, good press now.
The We always talk about that 150-meter mark, Ken, as being just about in the realms of being in touch, staying in touch, having the opportunity to turn it around. One mistake and you can edge in front. Get too much beyond that and it becomes much more difficult. We're right on the cusp of that kind of threshold right now.
It's still phenomenal to watch these tacks, how just flawless they've become, how stable the boat becomes, how quickly they fling the thing over.
And once they've maneuvered, the cyclones go to work, generating that power, pushing the oil around the system to allow them a little bit of tactical freedom. Decisions can be made at that point once the power levels are back up where they need them.
Interesting, even in the 9 knots of breeze, they're all on their medium air jibs, their code 2 jibs today. I kind of expected in this lighter breeze, and maybe throw it back out to Freddie for a second. Why aren't they going with their bigger jibs today, Freddie?
Yeah, it's a trend that we've seen throughout this America's Cup. When you're on the long foils, you don't need quite as much sail area in the sky to get them working, and it comes down to drag through the air as well as drag through the water.
Quite a big speed discrepancy between the two boats, obviously currently heading in separate directions. The Kiwis were motoring away from the gate at around 30 knots. The USA struggling into it at around 20. They seem to have leveled off though a little bit here.
30 seconds.
Average to right. Average.
What are you picking out of that, Kenneth?
Average VMG, look at the VMG difference. You know, it's interesting, the boat speeds, we keep seeing the boat speeds being very similar. Emirates Team New Zealand points higher to the wind. Let's just all be, let's just call it what it is. And by doing that, their average VMG is almost a knot faster around the race course. That's the velocity made good. That's the difference of angle to the mark and speed to the mark. They're just sailing a tighter angle to the mark all the time, both upwind and down.
All business on board Emirates Team New Zealand, all done with the minimum of fuss. There the two wings side by side.
Yeah, you know, the two wing trims are very, very different.
Okay, a little softer.
Again, it's Ashby with that box, no winch, no nothing. He's just sitting there hydraulically controlling it.
Right gate at the moment, 2 yards.
Very often the differences we see are up top. Down low, Kyle Langford probably moves the whole wing around a little bit more, but as we go up, I'm not sure we'll see it as much downwind, but upwind, especially at the very top, that is where the control of Emirates Team New Zealand seems to be substantially different and more efficient than the rest of the teams here. Glenn Ashby's constantly moving the twist of the wing around. Just like if you're in a one design keel boat, for example, pulling the backstay on and letting the backstay off all the time for those sailors out there. Well, that's kind of what Ashby does, and it's been incredibly efficient. It just doesn't trim it in and out conventionally nearly as much as others do.
Great shot from the drone as Glenn Ashby heads across the trampoline, takes the helm for a moment until Peter Burling arrives. And they just have this brilliant distribution of responsibility that works so well for them. Glenn Ashby, the man one in front of Burling, something of a catamaran guru, multiple world champion, and a big influence, by the way, on Jimmy Spithill's development with the multi-hulls.
Yeah, I watched he and Jimmy Spithill crew for him in what was called the Little America's Cup. I believe it's the C-Class World Championship in Newport, Rhode Island. Jimmy Spithill crewing for Glenn Ashby way back when. Seemed like forever ago.
Partners turned adversaries. And the Kiwis through the gates. Upwind one more time. And this time going with an early tack.
This is just to control the race course. Knowing full well that Oracle Team USA was going to have to split and do something, This is a traditional kind of match racing move. You go around the most efficient mark and then you tack early. You're going to give up a little bit of your lead, but you know what? When these guys get around the mark, you're going to be pretty close to the same water and the same puff or wind shift that your competitor is in.
Just over your shoulder. A little bit of speed on here.
Keep working, boys.
Okay, let's stand by there, guys.
Keep the field on. Yep, copy. Okay, boys, here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1.
On, mate.
And turn, mate.
So the Americans still in touch just about, but they have to be a little concerned at this point with time beginning to tick against them. The defenders of the America's Cup. There will be a quiet realization that this might be over in the not too distant future.
Everything you got on this lap, boys. Nobody.
Leave it all out, boys.
Faster, boys. Let's pick up.
Nice, boys.
A little fast, Tommy?
Happy 20, yeah. Happy a little fast, just a little.
Probably there, right?
This is good, yeah, no lower.
Full-headed.
Lots of positivity, that's good to hear.
Lots of positivity. I think exactly what you would expect to hear from these guys,
A little high
quite
group to
frankly.
this one, and then you got lift coming. Lift in 2, 1. Good pressure there now. Happy VMG again.
Taking a little bit. Yeah. Coming up.
Nice. Happy to be a little faster still.
Yeah. Boundaries going quick.
Yeah, 20 seconds. Let's stand by.
Yeah, here we go, boys. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Emirates Team New Zealand did those 2 extra tacks at the bottom mark, certainly gave up a bit of their lead, but
Flattening heel.
I would guess that Emirates Team New Zealand fans are far more comfortable in this position right now with a 150-meter lead than complete opposite sides of the race course with a 250-meter lead. You're vulnerable here.
Again, boys.
You're not very vulnerable.
It's that arm's length thing,
Exactly.
keeping them where they want them.
Looking up the backside of these wings again, looking
Pressure in 2.
to try to prove me correct on Emirates Team New Zealand, but they seem pretty quiet with the top section of the foil right now. We were looking for that hummingbird concept that Freddie Carr introduced to us the other day, and it's not exactly there right now. But listen, this is again what we talked about earlier. This is the one mistake zone, you know? The problem is, Kiwis just don't seem to be making any mistakes. Yeah. Classic match racing right now.
Everything you got, boys.
He was criticised earlier on in the match itself, wasn't he, Burling, for not covering Jimmy Spithill and Oracle Team USA. Seems to have rectified that in pretty much every department. Simon van Veldhoven, again, right up towards his absolute max heart rate. The bronze medalist from London 2012. New experiences for him out here on the water, as we were telling you earlier. Not least the day that the Kiwi boat disappeared upside down.
Maybe a little bit faster, so we've got a good tank.
1 minute you're cycling, next minute you're gargling.
This is going to be one and in for both boats. Now the Kiwis will make sure they lay the mark. Oracle attacks early again. They're just trying to do anything right now. Desperation again is trying to take over. This is why their grinding is going on all the time. The cyclists creating hydraulic pressure on the Kiwi boat, on the boat on the right, on the boat on the left. Certainly,
A lot bit of pressure here.
Team USA doing it a little more conventionally with coffee grinding, with the grinding pedestals.
Probably have to duck this later.
One interesting part of this, and maybe we bring Freddie Carr in for a second. One interesting part is the Americans seem to, on the left, the port starboard, that is the board up down. And Freddie, you can help me with this. The board up down is a different, what's called an accumulator, pressure accumulator, than actually moving the appendages around. That's a completely separate entity, and we see that on the right, and that number seems to move a lot more on the American boat.
Good numbers.
That's right, Ken. So you have lift accumulators for dropping and lifting the boards, and then you have a rake accumulator. The big gain that the Kiwis have is they can fill that rake accumulator so quickly and set them up for their next tackle jibe.
Freddie was telling me earlier, he thinks that the Kiwis, now that he's not in the Cup, he can admit that the Kiwis might have about 30% more effort, more pressure.
Yeah, that's right, Ken, about 30%.
So the Kiwis needed one more tack to get into the gate and round. And that means that the USA have gained on them just a little bit.
You know, it's interesting, they have this close tactic. Definitely closed up the lead a little bit, but again, they're in the same water. There's Oracle just again doing everything to get to a different side of the race course. Splitting yet again, choosing to do another tack, anything.
Well, that's a roll of the dice, isn't it?
Absolutely.
By Jimmy Spithill with one downwind leg to go. He's got to roll the dice. He's got to come out punching.
Great pressure here for us.
Peter Burling and the Kiwis calling the shots at the moment, dominating the race course.
Nice, mate.
Inside 20.
Yeah, copy.
Coming down slow.
Stand by.
One off.
Happy?
Happy. 4. Happy. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1, mate.
A little lighter here. Little lighter.
Jive is clean from the Americans. They've looked a little more stable today than at times yesterday, where they were distinctly wobbly.
It's certainly their longer boards are helping. Listen, the Americans through the series have gotten better and better at their tacks, at their jives, at their maneuvers. The problem is the bar has been set very high by that other boat who's just kind of constantly kicking their butt. Let's be frank, it's not. This is a bit of a caning going on here right now in this America's Cup, and quite frankly, something I don't think anybody really anticipated. We anticipated these guys to be good. I don't think anybody anticipated them, the Kiwis, to be this good. Except maybe them.
Peter Burling at the moment with his foot on the American jugular, looking to go in for the kill pretty soon now. Got to admire the calm, the composure, the measured approach which this man has brought to proceedings all across this 5 weeks of racing on the Great Sound. Think back just a few weeks ago to when their boat was in shreds after that dramatic pitch pole. And not just him, of course, the shore team who put it all back together.
And don't forget the millions of Kiwis that are up watching this right now. I think it's about 5 in the morning back on that little island, and they're just licking their chops right now. They're saying, Auckland, here we come.
2 islands, Kenny. 2 islands.
Sorry, 2 islands. Sorry.
Digesting their early morning cornflakes, wiping the sleep from their eyes, and recognizing that their team is close now. Very, very close indeed.
Could be 2 more jibes in, though. Possibly 1 more jibe in. Let's see if they can soak down, because this is kind of an interesting angle into the finish line. Let's see if they can soak and get there.
So the USA desperately trying to chase the Kiwis down, but the game is up. There will be no fairy tale comeback this time around. Jimmy Spithill has lost his magic wand, and in the meantime, the Kiwis, innovative in their design, intense in their focus, resilient throughout the time here in Bermuda. The New Zealanders pedaling into the history books. The America's Cup wrestled from the USA by Burling's men in black. The trophy belongs to New Zealand. All that heartache and pain of San Francisco replaced by jubilation here in Bermuda. And 4.5 million people on the other side of the planet let out an almighty roar. The Americans' challenge is over.
Just turn down,
The
Tommy. You
defense
just
of
turn
their
down. We go
crown
through.
is over.
My wing.
It's been a brave fight. They've done everything within their powers to make it more competitive, but ultimately very well beaten.
Now, without doubt, your focus right now is winning this start, and that'll make your life a lot easier.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli coming on the left side of your screen. That is port entry. They are allowed in at 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And then 10 seconds later, at the 2-minute mark, starboard entry boat, which will be Emirates Team New Zealand, are allowed in. And to start the battle in race number 10.
Good course.
Yep. Slowly,
Big, at the moment it's showing big committee boat. At the moment we're wide right.
Yeah, wide right.
So Prada Pirelli are into the pre-start. Emirates Team New Zealand is firing as well from the starboard. They are coming into the pre-start. Here we go.
Jimmy Spithill just gave us a feel for the starting line and their strategy there. Nathan, he said big weather end or committee boat favor, right-hand end favor, and they're already thinking wide right.
So as the lead boat, you know, they're on port, they're leading away. How are they actually going to get that right-hand side? Because they're going to be the first ones to turn back. So very interesting here. I expect if they want to be wide and right, they're going to turn back later than normal.
We're winning the long race for sure.
Easy down now.
Down.
Hey, drive.
He's just gliding into each other. Now, the real question is New Zealand going to jump them, or are they going to attack and push them above?
Posting there. Boats around up deck.
Goes lower.
One, put down.
Pull the way up. Pull the way up.
New Zealand does not fall for it. They both want the right-hand side.
All good on him. He's one forward.
Okay, going to go out here.
Really trying to jive.
Still fine for the boat. Keep it high, guys.
Didn't let him do it.
So now he's going to try and shut them out. Jimmy Spittle's going to try and shut them out. But Peter Bell's got plenty of speed. Let's just hear the onboard comms. This is a critical moment.
Pressure, clean pressure here.
Still 3 for
No
the...
risk of being late, I think.
Okay, 0 on 10.
Yeah, we can see him.
2, 1, good one. Down to the angle.
I'll give you a little kiss here.
Kiwis are in an interesting spot here. 25 seconds to go.
Yeah, going speed.
Up again, please. Yeah.
Trim.
Easy windy on those, brother. He's fully downwind here. He's fully downwind. Take a bumper's line. Yeah. Almost all the way here. Nice, guys. Good. Aim for speed here, Pete. Watch that.
Go.
2, 1. Port coming down.
On race 10 of the America's Cup Match 2021. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, defender, Emirates Team New Zealand.
Come down.
Key moment in the race. They wanted the right hard there. They actually came in late and didn't mind starting tight. The Kiwis didn't, knowing that they would be tacking soon after. We're going to have to wait a couple minutes for the first cross. These boats are going to go to the edges of the course and come back together. Verdict of who won the start.
Pretty big right at the moment.
Yeah, right. Big pressure on the right looks good.
Yep.
But righty.
-2 is good.
Big righty still.
Yeah.
Listening.
Surely this is reminiscent of that critical
Stand
cross
by.
yesterday.
3, 2, 1. A little softer out of this.
Yeah.
Sorry, put your bumper.
It's gone to 6 degrees. Set up at 45, so just at start time, massive 15-degree right-hand shift. We're on the right-hand side with the Kiwis. Also, to me, there's always more pressure over here, so great call by the Kiwis, got the shift.
Would you hit him on the way back here, Joshy? We're just knocking here, guys.
Okay, no lower.
There's
Lower.
not going to be much into it, Nathan, but it looks like
Now
first
about
cross,
me or
first
what do
low
you reckon?
just
Go ahead.
Normal.
starboard tack
Just
advantage
behind
coming
him.
from the top of the screen.
One behind.
What side are they going to protect? Are they going to attack and him, or are they going to let them go to the right-hand side?
Pressure straight ahead. Pressure up. Offshore in general.
So teams are going to cover their protect that right-hand side. They got first blood on the right-hand side. They've now got a small lead.
Crossing.
They're forcing Prada back out to the left-hand side of the course. Let's go to Freddie in the sky. What do you see as we go up the track, mate?
It's the same as what we saw before the start. The better mixed pressure is left middle, where Prada are heading to now. And the shift is obviously still right. They're still talking about the right-hand shift. And the windward mark right now, the best breeze on the course is coming down left middle.
We have been critical of Peter Burling's starts throughout the series, but I got to tell you what, that took guts to know that you were going to start what we call tight right and bail into an attack right away. They had a strategy, and he pulled it off. Very good job by Peter Burling.
Top left minutes and maybe see how right.
It's Ted Blanchuk, so top left is a little bit better. So they're seeing what Freddie and the helicopter's seeing at the moment. You can see this lead difference is very, very similar. Those angles at the front indicate the angle the boat's traveling at. New Zealand are attack ahead, so when Luna Rossa attack right now, you expect that this lead that Luna Rossa have artificially right now might drop a bit, but if that's a left-hand shift, we might see a lead change here. Very close between these two boats at the moment.
Already at target here. Nice pressure on our... Nice pressure on our windward. Here is a lift.
Race 10, 21,
Very light duck though, it's only a tiny one.
They're going to do it, so they're going to have to duck.
We're going one for right. I mean, one for right. Yeah, very happy with the bring on the bow.
Coming up, boys.
Good game to Luna Rossa. I think this is the first time, Nathan, we've seen the Kiwis ahead and they haven't just simply stretched away. Luna Rossa keeping it tight.
Copy that on the downwind. Just got a little bit low and heel. Nothing. Not yet. Real good phaser. Yeah.
Here you can see that's the lead chain. Luna Rossa choosing to go behind. Emirates Team New Zealand had right of way there. And I think that the gains have been coming from the left-hand side of the course on that particular case for Luna Rossa. The real question is, what are we on the top of the course? And if you look to the top left of our picture, that's live pictures there. Looks like Emirates Team New Zealand made a bit of a gain here coming to the top. And I'm not sure if Luna Rossa are going to lay the left day here. If they lay the left day, they're going to get a split. Let's just listen and see how it comes here.
Yeah, we're going to struggling the line. This pressure should help us out.
The left here.
Nice angle there. By the way,
Emirates Team New Zealand through the top gate for the first time.
Way to go.
Led 6 completed. They will lead Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli around on the first downwind leg in this race. Tight margins.
Great pump. Right now.
Surely it seems a little bit shiftier than we've seen in the past out on this course.
What do you think? Upwind mode for the race again.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and also up and down in speed and velocity. 10 knots up to 14 knots. So big patches of light wind, which is making a massive difference to performance.
Team New Zealand with a lead that sits at around 230 odd metres in front of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. The equation for Luna Rossa is quite simple. They must win this race. They must chase down Emirates Team New Zealand. They will have fans on the edge of their seat early in the morning in Italy, and crowd here, the Italian fans will be praying for something to happen, but you get the feeling the numbers outweigh them when it comes to crowds. But back on the race course, Emirates Team New Zealand with the early advantage. Maybe we're in for another classic.
Yeah, almost.
Freddie, up to you in the helicopter for a second. Sure, it always seems like the Kiwis just have a little jump downwind, doesn't it?
Sure.
It does seem like they have a little jump. I was very surprised that the Kiwis didn't jive and come over to the top time outside of the course. And the Prada's actually gained a little bit in the top half of this beat, in this run, apologies. But now Team New Zealand are on the left-hand side in the better pressure. It's a little, you've got to get over to this left-hand side and cash it in. It's like 2 knots left to right at the moment.
Happy to go back. Yep.
The hydraulic traveler system on on this Kiwi boat. It's the bane of our existence. Believe me, folks. We love it just as little as you love it when it comes to the great sounds that come off of these boats.
I can tell you our sound technicians have worked very, very hard to minimize that, but we also found out too it affects the onboard communication between Blair Tuke and Peter Burling as well, so it annoys them as much as it annoys us at times. Let's go on board Luna Rossa. They're chasing. They have to be the hunter.
Yeah, I don't think we will be able to do one in here.
Delay. Okay, copy.
Yeah. We go early then. Stand by. 3, 2, 1, 4 down.
That was some interesting chat. They were trying to work out, are they going to lay the marks with one jibe only? You can see they've jibed just before that red line, which is the lay line. Team New Zealand are going to jibe here very soon as well. Both marks were to the right of the picture, and Team New Zealand jibing to get in sync here right now.
Okay, so they jibe there.
Both boats look like they're heading towards the same mark. I think it's been a really good gain here by Luna Rossa on this run.
This is one of the very first runs we've seen that Luna Rossa has hung there.
Yeah, you go now. Yep, you go.
Potential JK.
Copy. Let me know over there, Kicker. Yep.
Potential JK.
Let me know the job.
Stand by. 3, 2,
Emirates Team New Zealand once again leading Luna Rossa around the bottom gate for the first time. They'll complete 2 legs on 6, 4 to go.
A little stuck here on Emirates Team New Zealand. Not their best drive, their best rounding. Wide rounding going around it.
Going to be a little fast here around the point.
That's a lot of that's a bad rounding by part of it. They're looking like they're off the foil there. Shirley, can you see how that bottom mark panned out there for Luna Rossa?
To me, it looked like it was the 2 boards down, ready for that JK turn. Really early, and quite a long phase as well, and it was just too long, hanging there too deep with the 2 boards down, and really, really slowed down. It was a big loss.
Avoid any mistakes on the Italian boat.
Both teams showing a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, but the Italians made their mistake also in the dirty air or the mixed up air coming off the wings of the Kiwi boat. So that absolutely compounded the problem compared to what happened to the Kiwis.
We're not going to give you third here, so just our mode pick.
Nathan, close race, got not very close.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly it can change. And Luna Rossa were catching them, and then they sailed into the dirty air, as you said. They jibed to go to that left-hand mark as they approached the bottom mark. Team New Zealand matched them, put disturbed air on, and Team New Zealand looked like they had a struggle of a bottom mark, but Luna Rossa's bottom mark is even tougher. And now the lead is stretched out quite a bit, and we'll just listen on board here. Team New Zealand will be tacking and keeping in check the rest of this race, that's for sure. That's a huge sigh of relief if you're a Kiwi fan, that bottom mark round there.
He carries on still. Mine. Great speed, they can check whenever. Yep. Hard hit on this one, Josh. Yeah, copy that. I'll watch for his board. He's just behind our 90 at the moment, so we'll be matching. Copy. 0 heel, please, Pete. Okay, fires. Go now. Firing. Continue. Alright, forward. A little bit easy and nice.
Hard hit. That was the call by Peter Burling, which means they're tacking right on top of, using all the dirty air off of their sails for the against the Italians.
You can see Pertobet is getting very aggressive now, isn't he? He's just got that little bit of a lead out. You can see on this graphic here, that white trail behind the boats is the bad air. It looks like Luna Rossa is sailing just to leeward of that graphic. It's very hard to give you competitive bad air, but I think Peter Burling is saying to his boys, let's shut the race down. Let's not give them a chance to get back into this. If you're a Kiwi fan watching this right now, you're starting to get a little bit excited.
Flags a big right at the top there.
Emirates Team New Zealand lengthening their lead on the 3rd leg of 6. It is all important. 10th race of the 2021 Cup match. One senses now. Control from Emirates Team New Zealand. Play it safe. Do it by the numbers.
So we're going to take space.
He carries on still.
Stand by, boys. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, he fires it now. 20 seconds till his line. Do you want to go on him or go past me? Gain. I think we'll just go to Layla.
That's the sounds of Josh Jr. He's
almost on
actually
his line now, so
to
good.
leeward of the boat to the right-hand side of the boat. He's talking about firing. That means they're putting the dagger board, the wing, into the water. And that's the telltale sign that they're going to attack. So they're using these little plays to help them communicate with each other.
So Freddie, as we're approaching the top mark here, Team New Zealand got a pretty good lead. What do you see otherwise? Is it going to change much between here and the top mark?
Pretty much repeat of Windward Gate number 1 here, Nate. The best pressure is left middle. If you do a left turn at the top, which Emirates Team New Zealand are lining up for, they're going to bear away into nice pressure, probably 2 knots more on the left-hand side. And if Prada choose to split to the right, they could get a little shift, but there is less pressure over on that side.
So Team New Zealand coming in on starboard, attacking out of the top mark. This lead is really stretched out a little bit now, and if Freddie's right and he's got some really good eyes in the helicopter, a left turn here for Emirates Team New Zealand is going to put them in much stronger breeze, and this lead might just continue to grow.
3, 2, 1. Pressure mark, nothing spectacular.
Emirates Team New Zealand about to complete 50% of race number 10. They have completed 3 legs of 6.
3,
We'll round
2,
that top
1,
gate and head back down on leg number 4.
He'll be taking right turn in about 15 seconds. -2.
They can feel it.
Yeah, looks good all the way, eh? No deeper feet, little pace.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. Finally through the top gate, taking the right-hand mark.
Then by 3, 2, 1, and yours.
Has left them 27 seconds in favour of Emirates Team New Zealand.
He went the boundary and jibed.
Yes. Little righty. Decent pressure.
Don't watch if you're a Luna Rossa fan right now. I think that's what that means.
-1.
Numbers.
3 right.
Hi, boys.
You can see there the VMG numbers on the bottom, 29 knots versus 33 knots. That could be a case of having extra wind. It also could be a case of having a slightly faster boat down. And let's remember, Emirates Team New Zealand's foils are in the realm of 30% smaller. And when the breeze gets over this 10-12 knot wind range, those little foils seem to have a little bit more speed, and you combine that with extra pressure and you have a rocket ship.
Surely get that sense that Emirates Team New Zealand are controlling this race
Big left here, 38.
Coming down on this.
Yeah.
No deeper feet. Relax. Slowly. 5 left. Going probably another.
Back up to Freddie. Still, the sea breeze seems like it's solid now, Freddie. Right, that light air offshore isn't creeping back in again.
No, that's right. It's got much better mix throughout the sort of 15 minutes of this race so far. There was that southwesterly no wind patch on course C about a mile downwind from us. And Team New Zealand fans will be pleased to know that that's filled in this northeasterly. So, like the last time I was in the helicopter, it doesn't look like we're going to be having any shutdowns in this race.
This lap is looking more like a lap of honour for the Kiwis all the time, extending all the time. I've just been watching the speeds. They're at least 2 knots quicker, sometimes 5 knots quicker than their opponent. And if you've worked on this program and supported this program, this is a prime moment. Just seeing what they can do and actually having an open road to show us what all that hard work has meant.
Bravo.
Yeah. He's marginal. He's probably marginal left there. He won't make it. Happy right turn. Yeah. Just trying to get steep as we can here for one more round up.
Emirates Team New Zealand, the defender of the America's Cup, heading into complete leg number 4 of race number 10. They are 2 legs away from winning the cup.
Good press when you can, 37. How's a good one, boys?
8 left.
0 hill.
Good time to sail perfect right now, Nathan, aren't they?
20 seconds. Follow on.
New Zealand sailing very fast. Looks like they've stretched their lead once again. Just a couple of extra seconds on that downwind, but
Bit JK here. Going to drop the ball during the turn though. Okay, slow turn on.
Ross and Prada Pirelli have always said they are in the fight and they will stay in the fight. And they are still in the fight. They're 37 seconds adrift of Emirates Team New Zealand. I thought the telling moment at the press conference last night from Jimmy Spiller says there ain't going to be any towel thrown in. We are here to go all the way.
They immediately try to create a split by doing that that very cool, tricky maneuver around the leeward mark. They all call it JK and try to get as much of a split as they can. Nathan, now it's kind of turning into desperation time. There's times to keep it close. There's other times just to need a Hail Mary. Getting close to Hail Mary.
yes, you're 100% right, but there's not many things they can do. The more maneuvers you do on these boats, you lose distance every maneuver. So Team New Zealand, if they're not to start tacking and trying to force something, Team New Zealand are going to start sailing boundary to boundary. They've got 466 metre lead here right now. It's a pretty substantial lead. Right now, if you're Lena Rossi, you're just hoping that Team New Zealand make a big mistake.
It would have to be an
enormous mistake.
We go back to the start of this race, and Peter Burling, both in the press down here and in this booth, has been really having a hard time, taking a hard time in these pre-starts. They had a plan in that pre-start, and they pulled it off. I give him all kinds of credit.
You're 100% there, and there's a lot of pressure on the helmsman of any of these boats. And there's a lot of people watching the racing today, and he would love nothing more than to execute a stunt and lead from the beginning of the race right through. And so far, so good.
He responded to pressure. You can imagine that Peter Burling has been under incredible pressure, potentially internally as well as externally. And they say champions deliver when it matters.
9. Good phase, boys. Maybe a little lower here when you can, so I was probably a bit quick out on the can. 5, right? So a little more lower feet. Friction, I know it's a bit lighter, but... Average breath. Coming up a little.
Okay, pressure coming here. 2.
Pressure in the Italian boat, I'll tell you what, the same communication, that same level of communication, the cadence on board the boat, absolutely zero quit, no sense of panic, but the clock is certainly running on them right now.
Actually, we go to this path.
We'll think about going back, so... Real puffy, I think it'll be a good one.
3, 2, 1.
Little knock there. Yeah. Have you put
he sets up and tacks now,
I think you said in our pre-show today that Lena Rossi had to sail the perfect race. You get the feeling Emirates Team New Zealand are listening to you.
But we heard Jimmy Spithill say we want the right. The weather end is favored, we want the right. And guess what? He got outdone by Peter Burling.
Keep pushing, boys.
It's all going to... Listen, Course A, we talked about it before. Freddie reminded us of it this morning. Course A has not produced a pass yet. You have to win the start. The Kiwis went for it at the start, and it worked. And by the way, the Italians wanted that start, and the other guys took it away. Good for them.
Okay, pressure here.
500 plus metre advantage to Emirates Team New Zealand. They're going to hit the top mark surely for the very last time.
0. Pretty dynamic up there. That's all good. Just get around the right here and just see what it looks like. Yep, he's still on port. Going delay. 11 right.
Starting to feel it.
Better watch out for him on the barrel. Yeah, copy. Gives me this mark's good with the big right here. Yeah, probably just carry on to boundary. Copy. Nice angle there.
Emirates
Probably
Team
no
New
lower
Zealand
feet.
hitting the top gate for the very last time. Sailing this magnificent flying machine called Hutai.
3,
They'll round the gate,
1, and away you go.
head downwind for the very last time, and one feels pretty sure the party's about to start.
Never know. You never know, but man, if you're a betting person right now,
you never know.
We're not.
No, he carries on. They're all
Looking
fit.
kind of good.
Average breeze coming to the front edge of it. I wonder if that may
It's looking very good for the Kiwis.
I'm trying to crave hope.
I know you're trying to crave hope. They've just stretched out once again, and it's just showing the pure boat speed of that boat and the professionalism of that team to come back and have such a great start and really control this race from the beginning.
Okay, I will.
You will.
3, 2, 1, clear, yours.
Nathan, we've talked a lot in this event about the fastest boat always wins the America's Cup. There's been a lot of talk about pretty even boats, et cetera, et cetera. To me, there's been no question. As this series has gone along, we even mentioned this early on, the Italians had to put them away early. The Kiwis have gotten better. They've gotten race tougher. They've gotten better. And the faster boat is about to win the America's Cup.
3, 2,
I think you're right there. I think Luna Rossa put up a really strong fight at the beginning. They were starting well, executing everything well, but you kind of got the feeling as this event was going on that the faster boat was gaining momentum. These guys were starting to find modes in that boat that they needed to combat another boat. When you're sailing around on your own for 2 or 3 years, it's hard to know what mode to sail. But they lined up with Luna Rossa early on in this event, and they're finding modes that they didn't know they had. And as always, the fastest boat wins the America's Cup, and we're seeing that right now.
It has been a mighty challenge from Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli, but in the end, you come into this final match race, as it turns out to be, needing 4 wins in a trot, and they have been, well, we have to call it, don't we? They were outsailed at the start, and that was the difference. Peter Burling did what he needed to do in the match race that mattered.
Okay, pressure here again.
Nice stuff coming on here. Fine. Nice job, Phil.
Impressive boats, impressive sight, impressive event, and you know what? The defender always tends to have the advantage, and they took advantage of it, and congratulations. It's looking pretty solid for the Kiwis at this stage.
We're happy 1 and in. 1 and in. Little pacer. Copy. Reasonably steady. Probably more of a pace up moving, but yeah. Pleasure.
One more jive. The Americans
soft there, boys, out of this one.
Emirates Team New Zealand are on track.
All the way down this side,
chapter to the America's Cup history book. Let's remember their sailing Odyssey, this Cup Odyssey, is only 34 years young. That Odyssey from Fremantle would turn into Obsession. And then it would come to 1995 that Team New Zealand finally got their hands on sailing's holy grail, becoming just the 2nd country to win the Cup from outside of America. In 2000, they prevailed to all comers, but unable to follow up in 2003. 21 years after their first successful defence on home waters, Emirates Team New Zealand do it again in a new class of boat that proves Kiwis can fly. Sailing's most treasured prize, the America's Cup stays in New Zealand.
Yes, boy! Fucking nice. Enjoy the moment, boys. Well done. I just gotta watch out for these blokes here. Right. Don't worry about the sails, boys. Unreal!
Good luck, boys. Then we drive around and go congratulate them,
Luna Rossa. They have put up a fight, and they have done the America's Cup and Italy proud.
It's going to turn all the way up here to the right, boys.
Hey, bit up there. Players coming behind now, pistol.
And that's all we want to hear. This race is live. By the end of this race, the match could still be alive, or one team will be thinking about raising the old mug. There's the score. Defender 6, Challenger 2.
Nice breeze here, around about 8 knots, so boats should be on the foils, both on big sails. Nice flat water conditions. Expect some engagement.
Emirates Team New Zealand coming into some port at 2 minutes and 10 seconds. They're cutting it right to the bone and bang, look at that. Green light in, coming from starboard. It will be Ineos Britannia, 2 minutes and counting.
Happy with the plan, okay? Line's pretty square.
Time to go racing.
Shive if you want. Down here. 2, 1, made.
40 knots of boat speed and 8 knots of true wind speed. Very, very flat water. Expect the British team to be sailing up the exhaust pipe of Emirates Team New Zealand to put pressure on them in the pre-start.
Yours, Ben. They may potentially look to double track out of this. Quite low in the box again. That's a good angle. Killing a minute 10, good time, so they're going to be early. Round up there. Coming down. I think we jibe on them and then...
Big push coming up from the Cyclor team in these upcoming manoeuvres.
Oil. On the boundary. Just watch them. Nice. We've gone inside. Ready to go here.
Ineos Britannia jibing inside.
Smooth, that's boat lay.
A lot of dirty air Emirates Team New Zealand having to deal with at the moment.
Board down here. Board out. All the way. Left. Half heel. Pushing. Full speed when we get there. Keep pushing down. 2.
Ineos Britannia attacking with them, making life difficult.
Go board down, stand by. 2.
Emirates Team New Zealand now attacking.
They're trying to go back in front of you.
British having to avoid as the giveaway boat.
2, 1 board.
A lot of dirty air for Emirates Team New Zealand to deal with. They have to punch through here.
For the line. Killing 11, killing 10.
Really well controlled by the British, this pre-start. Massive chance in this light airs that the Kiwis get into trouble.
British doing a really nice job.
Breeze right is okay. Testing now. Go through, so go above. Stand by, boys. Up and 5. Here we go, boys. Hit it. Killing 3. All the way, go hard. All the way up.
Race 9 in the match, and the race towards history continues on the Mediterranean.
That's a big moment. Surely Emirates Team New Zealand having to tack away. British winning that start.
Okay, so we are in a little lefty, but nice phase.
It was pretty even that start, wasn't it? The British were slightly faster, 1 knot faster.
Yeah, I think you can get back before the boundary. I agree, they're going to be... Yeah, we're actually done all right here, guys, so it's trending right. Hey, once you go in the best spot, you're called it. 10 seconds, that's going to have enough boundary too. 10 seconds, good. Yeah.
So for those wondering what the inside of an AC-75 cockpit looks like, Nathan Outridge on the wheel at the moment.
The screen on the left gives you all the course information.
Keep pressing here to build.
Emirates Team New Zealand, right away
Strong
boat.
here, they're ducking.
British having to duck early.
Angle. Happy on the wind?
Nothing in this race.
Got a little more transition later. Yep. 20 boundary. Okay, just amateur at the moment. There's a little more inside of us. Stand by.
Very good start by Ineos. I had them slightly ahead with New Zealand having to peel and come over to the right. The New Zealanders then got a little bit more pressure and a punch forward to win that vital first cross.
Okay, they continue for now. Breezes still on the main electrons.
That was the cross. The Kiwis did well on that right-hand side of the track. There's a bit of a shift also. A touch more pressure.
Lefty at the moment, unfortunately. How's it look, Bless? There's a pressure line kind of, 2 meters to our right. Yeah. Looks better on that side, I'd say. On the right? Yeah. They're just going around us a little bit in that lefty. They look like they're building for attack. They will cross at the moment. They're tapping here. One more build, easy cross. We have to go past here, Ben. Yeah, they will cross there. More on you too, Pistol here. Yeah, sorry, I just rushed it a bit. Okay. It'll increase in 5 here.
The breeze on the bow there. Surely
We're 40
British
seconds
team
from boundary. We
sailing
can get
into
to
what
the
Emirates Team New Zealand have just got their nose into.
They won't have heaps of leverage above here, but I think just not afraid to do 2 tags. I think there's our play here. They've got 2s to go as well. And you could go up. I don't think you'll have time to accelerate and hit, so it's just best position to the top. If you can lay, they're probably taking left as well.
It's Nathan Outridge again there on the wheel.
You know, we've had this before.
Steering the AC75. Obviously can't see all the numbers there, but that left screen is the tactical software screen for the race management.
Trending right slightly. Your call, mate. Big gains on them.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, lengthening to 1.8 nautical miles and shifting the axis to 185.
Just keep going and go. No, keep going. Just there's breeze here.
Yeah, looking at the course, a bit more pressure in the right. Now, we've seen this trend here before where it builds from the left, but then as it stabilises, the right-hand side gets quite strong. And that's what that's the game Emirates Team New Zealand at the moment. I'm sure they've looked at the course and like what they're seeing.
You want to go here? Or you want to go all the way? Try and make your call. Happy to do 2. I think just, I'm happy to go here.
Kiwis have done so well up here in phase with the shifts.
2, 1.
The touch of pace also getting them out of trouble.
Still need more.
Just really important to get that first shift. British did a great job at the start, but
normal build.
Only Ray Davies and the team will know whether that was the plan to hit that right-hand side early on. Hopefully we can find out later on whether that was the plan or not.
They're caving down into this righty now. Just underneath this righty, so...
Emirates Team New Zealand definitely getting those first 2 shifts.
Would you ever try? No, I don't think we're going to
closer angle to that top mark than their opponents in Yacht Britannia.
Always got nice pressure. I just want to pick right in the meat of it, Pete. No, it's kind of good.
Quite light at the top of the track. Seeing a maximum of 8
knots.
knots.
For this tack.
Well, it's just absolutely ripping upwind. 30 knots of boat speed going upwind. Around 8 knots of breeze, so extreme performance for not a lot of breeze.
Emirates Team New Zealand have about to complete leg 1 of 6 in race number 9. They got beaten at the start, but they have certainly put the foot on the pedal. Upwind on leg number 1 of 6. Long way to go, though. Both these boats are fast.
2, 1, rolling away. All yours. Happy with that, Andy? Yeah. I haven't had a good look right now, but from what I saw,
fans in Kiwi corner understandably happy. Why wouldn't you be? But fans of Yacht Britannia will also see that their boat is once again hunting and chasing.
Working away. Okay, 2. 100. 1. Boys, 20. Yeah, I think we're clear, Ben. My trap. Yours. Any times. 2, 1, and put down.
The crowd's on edge. They're always on edge. It's always that first couple of legs. You're wondering how it's going to unfold.
It was a tough upwind leg for Yacht Britannia. Really dominated that pre-start. They expected more from that for sure. Kiwis look very slippery. Not putting a foot wrong.
So with these flatter water conditions, boats much easier to sail, a lot easier day for Andy Maloney and Blair Tuke and Lee McMillan and Bledmont flight controllers.
Start to toe left from here, I imagine. It looks really even down with speed, strength-wise. Yeah, just trying to get altitude. Nice, bro. Good there. Should be nice with some good right here. Here we go. Should be a lot more left down the bottom. This one lasted a while on the way up, so they're just getting to that side of us now. So.
Sailing into a little more pressure down that side, surely, so potentially a couple of gains there, having to sail punch through that vortex of dirty air from Emirates Team New Zealand, but they won't be wanting to see what they're seeing out the front of the boat at the moment.
Fighting left here. Looks a little bit light. Stand by. 2. Fine, forward down. 3, 2, 1, mate.
Ineos just roll into their jibe over on the left-hand boundary. Both boats on their M1, biggest mainsail, and their J1 jibs. And they, even in these very light air, the boats look so dynamic. but still got to be very careful to keep both boats on the foils through the manoeuvres.
I agree with Peter there. Very, very easy to spin the rudder out with these big mainsails on, so more aerodynamic loading at the back of the boat, which loads up that little skinny rudder more than it would do in windier conditions. So having to make sure you've got good rudder immersion in those turns, otherwise you can spin out and splash down, so right on the knife's edge.
How we developed 9.5s have now sort of got a little bit to build here.
This flat water conditions, it does look like the boat is on rails. The way they keep the distance off the water.
I think this
millimetre precision there, it's so impressive.
Yeah, you're happy to go lay, but I think it might be nice on the way back, is what I'm saying.
With the flattest water we've seen here for the match in Barcelona.
I think you guys get FM team.
Boats creating their own wind speed as they sail downwind, about 4.5 times wind speed.
Button and board.
Best chance to look now, Andy. I'm kind of blind.
Okay.
To me, I kind of feel like a right turn's good, but...
Yeah, I agree. That looks nice.
But it's a bit soft in that corner.
I think you extend like 100 metres and then we might have a good option to go across.
Nathan and Andy there.
It is a left phase here, that's the only thing.
Are they laying in?
Torque.
Yes, sure, it's a tight lay, but...
Go right, Mark. Way faster manoeuvre.
Huge trust between these sailors.
Emirates Team New Zealand hitting to that bottom gate and holding a steady margin on Ineos Britannia. And it's steady. They take the right-hand turn. You heard them talking about it. They said, yeah, looks good. Well, it's good. And around they go. A third of the race distance done for the defender.
Right phase.
Take any off you can now, so I can get a little edge.
Family and friends right amongst it. It's Ineos Britannia. A third of the way through race number 9.
Beautiful mark rounding there aboard the British boat. See the ride height today of both boats, really, really flying the boats high. So trying to reduce the hydrodynamic drag on those foils, but still having enough grip.
2, 1, 8, turning.
Very wide.
2, 1. Board. Come back, grip. Two gates worth, I'd say there. They might go on his head.
And board.
That should be clear now.
That's spot.
And Ineos Britannia have closed the gap. Good gains at the bottom end of the track.
Emirates Team New Zealand paying a little bit of tax, coughing up a little bit of their lead to take control of this race, putting themselves in between their opponents in the top mark.
They're just living through to leeward, but they've had to compromise their VMG for this.
To be honest, Betty, I'd want to go with again.
I think that's, I'm happy with that. They're fired. Oh, do you want to go shaggy?
It'll ride here, yeah. Let's go, give it enough, we can actually wide mode.
And they're just crossing your line now.
Okay, there's another line in 10.
Board with Pete Burling on the starboard side. That wire rim there to satisfy a rule requirement.
Those ones we saw at the top,
obviously not needed
it's come down the course a bit
to hang on to, but they're for meeting the rules of the class.
Don't want to give them too much leverage that side.
Almost in zone.
Buttons on board operating a lot of the sail control, Cunningham's settings on board the yacht.
1, board tip. That's very easy, but keen to protect right from up here, I think.
A lot of separation. Emirates Team New Zealand carried all the way over to the right-hand ley line, and that's given Ineos a lot of separation on the left.
Yeah.
Ineos now have tacked because they were over here on the boundary, but Emirates Team New Zealand are certainly just playing the pressure shifts up the second one would be.
How will that be on them?
Big gains, Shirley, for the British team. They've lined up a couple of nice shifts there.
The
just here in 10 seconds.
Do you want to take it? Yes, so let's go.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shifting the course axis to 193.
And
And they've gone back, so I think you want to squash them that way. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think so. Just it's a good number, then let's go back. It's the danger side right now.
Definitely more pressure on that right-hand side of the course, so British happy for Emirates Team New Zealand to tack on so they could immediately tack away.
Okay, they come back.
Thinking that they're sailing into more pressure and better shift, and they're making gains on that right side of the course, Shirley.
Yeah, we've had a little right shift as well.
Digging their way well and truly back into this. About 10 degrees different in both angles there. They will take a big chunk of distance out of Emirates Team New Zealand on this next exchange. And they will be the right away boat. They've really closed the gap here.
2, 1, you're well. Okay. See the keep and bouncing into the plane.
Just enough room, wasn't there, for the Kiwis to defend.
1, mate.
They're out.
British immediately tacking away. They would have been straight into getting a face full of mud.
Come on, let's go.
Haven't got far to go to build speed and re-tack. Emirates Team New Zealand having to decide now what to do.
1, 4, there's 2 with the middle. Stand by here.
Talk about those shovels always about getting them out. Well, Ineos Britannia have certainly got the shovels out and they are making gains.
1, forward.
Ineos just tacking. As we look across, Emirates Team New Zealand are going to be ahead, but my word, Ineos are really taking it to the Kiwis here. Ineos' last tack from starboard to port, they just had a touch-and-go touchdown, but they're continuing to make good gains on the Kiwis, working this right-hand side of the track.
Ineos Britannia did so well there. They really used their speed. And they hanging in that high lane.
Left mark real strong.
This will be a battle of the high modes here. Both boats in a high, slow mode. British team having to survive.
Don't dive through the lure.
I think we do 26.
Put a swing if you want. Yeah. 25.
It's probably about 70 is your angle. They're pressing hard in the upper.
26. Not yet. Good. Nice work, Dylan. 27.
Ineos Britannia doing well to hang in there, but both boats are over ley line.
29.
Kiwis holding the British up.
Split from them at the top. Okay, your wheel. Yeah, mine. Right, try still better.
How good is this? A drag race to the top gate and monster gains by Britannia.
Try an early dive on that left turn. Let's go to tack out.
Expect to see a split at the top here.
1, more down.
Both teams, top gate, halfway through, race number 9 of the match.
Let's go.
Hit it, lads. Adam. And board. That's a nice position for us, boys.
20, 38. Pretty nice.
Big wind shift coming through, Shirley. Big right-hand shift.
Let's go on board the chase boat for Ineos Britannia. Rob Wilson joins us once again when it's getting really tight. Rob, beautiful job upwind.
Yeah, they left the door open very slightly on that second beat, which gave us a route back in just on the right side. And, you know, we're just pressing down that side now, hoping to get further into them.
Rob, how volatile is this racetrack?
It's been tricky with the building breeze. There's quite a big shift range, and you know, the ride was pretty good on that last beat, but there's still some shift to play with for sure.
Lots to play for. Leave you alone.
Thank you.
Got one more pulse before the boundary.
I think he is there.
Little pulse coming here.
Little increase coming here.
New Zealand made a pretty nice gain by taking that right-hand side off the top mark. I think there was just a little bit more pressure, so they've just extended as you come down to the halfway on this downwind leg. But this is an absolute beauty of a race.
Yep, I've just pulled my helmet and goggles out of the cupboard and put them on in the commentary booth here. How about you, Shirley? Fantastic battle.
Good lifty on the other side.
2, 1, and 4.
Both teams having to execute their manoeuvres perfectly to maintain a best performance of both boats. Accuracy is key in this type of days.
They've gone just on lane.
Should we want to handlebars now.
For left marking?
Yes. Yep.
Gains back to Ineos Britannia again, coming in
good down the inside. Looks like
on that right-hand side, sailing slightly more pressure at the moment than Emirates Team New Zealand.
That's going to be difficult for him.
Yeah. Get me on the sail or not?
Yes.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the course to 1.7 nautical miles.
Just below the youngster.
Yep. Okay. It would be a pretty good move, I think, but what do you...
Just want to defend the right.
I can take either mark right now, it's good for me. Have a look at the wind, Blue.
I think we'll
it's good right, actually. I'm happy to go, if you're making it okay, I'm happy to go right.
Yeah,
yep.
I'm happy.
Left mark. Single. Happy on single board?
Yeah.
The defender continues to lead as they complete leg number 4, but look who's closing again. Ineos Britannia, 4 legs completed, 2 to go.
Really close right up to the surface there, Emirates Team New Zealand. Big right-hand shift and pressure at the moment. Ineos Britannia laying in, but deciding to split and take another mark. So big right-hand shift at the bottom of the course at the moment with pressure.
Just go flat here. Okay, good pressure here. It's a bit of a lefty if you're going to take it. A little bit of pressure.
We know this is tight. We know this is tight. And it is a classic match race here in Barcelona.
Okay, stand by. Yep. 2, 1,
Let's go on board the chase boat for Emirates Team New Zealand. Ray Davies. How are the nerves? How are the nerves? This is tight.
Oh, not bad. Yeah, it's a pretty tight race, and we're seeing a trend to the right. The right side was obviously very strong up that second beat, and we're on the right-hand side of them at the moment. But, you know, they're not letting us get away with it easily here. It's all on, that's for sure. It's good.
How confident are you that you can hold them?
Oh, no, I think we're going all right. I think we're just going to settle into a better beat here, particularly the right. The right side seems pretty strong. There's sort of breeze improving and slowly going right. So, yeah, the gains have been out this side. So, yeah, I'm happy with what you're doing at the moment.
Yeah, thanks, Ray.
You happy with that?
This seems nice left. Starting to go right again.
Starting to come right pretty quick. I can go any time here. I think a little further for the wind.
You're looking at the wind field. Looks good where Ineos Britannia are heading. More pressure on that left-hand side. It is not straightforward.
Saw how much ground Ineos Britannia made up on that second beat, pulling out almost 180 metres out of Emirates Team New Zealand on that work. So lots of shifts, lots to play for. And a big amount of leverage at the moment. Both boats on opposite sides of the course. So.
It's not coming. Right.
This is the race committee. We are moving the finish line, shifting the axis of the final leg to 206.
Going to come right here, or there's a little more.
Emirates Team New Zealand have just hooked into a little bit of a right hand. I think it's more pressure than shift on this right hand side as Ineos tack over on the left. Still really close. You can see that advantage line is just in favour of the Kiwis. But Ineos are not going away, very evenly matched.
Keep them down. Keep the boat ripping in this riding.
Emirates Team New Zealand on starboard tack right away boat. Ineos Britannia having to give way, but
you're going flat now, mate.
the right-hand shift will favour Emirates Team New Zealand now. It's what they do with it. Do they hit or do they keep going straight?
They're on intersection. You can get a little bit further here.
That is the correct move in that position.
Yeah, as Ray said, also Kiwis like that right-hand side, nervous of it, want to defend it.
Wind wash right on top of Ineos Britannia. They have to bail from there to keep their boat sailing at max performance, keep the air intake clean.
Hang high out of the stack. One board. A little bit.
Hey boys. How's it look up in?
Button and button.
Kiwis going with them.
Way, on this tack.
Loose cover, shepherding them over to the left-hand side.
I got it.
Nice, guys.
Don't load, yeah, don't be too aggressive on the build here. That's nice.
Making Outridge now on course management and eyes on their opponent on the downwind side of the boat on the left.
That's going to be in 5.
Yes.
A little further. 3, 2, 1. Probably just a ley line.
It's a carbon copy of the last manoeuvre, just lining their opponents up to their right in their exhaust gas.
Side was good out here this time. It's a bit more even across the course.
It's only 10 delay.
Yep.
Still sitting on your hips.
Going a little over.
Give it a couple of lengths.
Both boats lined up, coming directly to the starboard ley line. The New Zealanders have gained on this upward leg by just pumping the right-hand side. But still pretty close, but New Zealand look pretty comfortable.
Easy, no, they're going to have to go way further. Nice medium.
But it's not massive riding.
The British now having to do 2 manoeuvres if they want to split at the top. So
there was more halfway up, eh?
Both boats needing to be locked in on this top side.
Yep.
The cool heads of Emirates Team New Zealand. This is the final upwind leg.
And all the way.
They turn the boat downward and they're on course for history.
2, 1, mate.
Enos Britannia.
All the way around.
Final top gate rounding.
British team having to tack there to keep their air clean. They would have been a lot of vortex and disturbed air to sail around behind Emirates Team New Zealand. They'll be hoping for some pressure down that side of the course.
Taking main. Costly, those manoeuvres, aren't they? Look at the meters.
Every manoeuvre about a 2-boat length loss upwind. The British having no choice in that particular case, having to split away.
Come back. Yeah. Like different angles, quite big angle, different at the moment. Yeah, can take it if you want.
Fine. Put down.
3, 2, 1, mate.
Turning.
Don't mind.
2, 1. And board.
Emirates Britannia running out of options.
Hey, boys.
Still another manoeuvre or 2 for Emirates Team New Zealand. Needing to keep concentrating and keep locked in.
Starting to lift here again. It could be open whether we step down or carry on. Not heaps in it.
Nothing like amazing ahead. We're just going to get knocked for a little bit longer here. We're just running on the edge of a little bit of pressure.
Bottom edge?
Yeah, we're just in it nicely. Yeah, bottom edge, we're out. 120
minutes. I'll get heaps further right than this.
Very calm comms on Emirates Team New Zealand, feeding in the information from both sides.
Boats nice and easy to sail and steer in these flat water conditions, so it's all about sailing off your numbers, making sure you're sailing the boat at absolute maximum performance.
I think we're good all the way here.
Sail it to its design targets.
Yeah, I'll just get boundary job. 20 seconds.
Yep, all good.
Potentially one more jibe for Emirates Team New Zealand. The British jibing back.
Got it, mate.
I'll be hoping for a mistake in this next manoeuvre.
2, 1, board.
New Zealand are one of the most storied teams in America's Cup history. They have won the Cup twice, and they have defended it twice. But this one is just a little bit special.
Taking out of it in that one, please.
Here in Barcelona, we are witnessing Emirates Team New Zealand deliver a Mediterranean masterclass. They are about to become the first team in modern history to lift the trophy 3 times in a row. You better believe it. The three-peat is complete, and Emirates Team New Zealand win the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup.
Count me in.
2, 1.
Beautiful, boys.
Massive congratulations to all the team at Emirates Team New Zealand. Very, very well sailed. Oh, great campaign.
They were so impressive, weren't they? And the few times they were challenged, they just came back stronger.
But let us not forget the valiant challenge from Ineos Britannia. They threw everything at them. Everything. And they must too be congratulated.